Yeah. Okay. So now we are live. So hold on, guys. We're getting everything ready right now. Getting everything ready. Um, yep, there it is. Yep. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. See us? Can you hear us? Yep. There we go. So we're good. All right. Yeah, we're good. It's good. So yeah, it's fine. We're just double checking, guys. Hold on a minute. Let's, we're just double checking. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. So sorry about the sorry about the delay, but I forgot my laptop and we had to make things happen. But yeah, I know there's a lot of people that were asking about who this woman is right here, and I'm gonna explain to you, and I'm gonna get to you to let you know who she is. But I haven't been alive in about a week. I've been busy and stuff, but I was just, I always go live with Isaac and stuff. But we got a special guest today here, and the thing about it is, a lot of you guys, people ask me like when, like to YouTube, if you guys been on the Facebook page, you've seen Amy on there in the beginning, and then after a while, like I said, and even in these videos that I've done, I've told you because people ask about, where's Amy? Who's Amy? I seen her on there. And what I said was, God called her in a different direction right now. That's what I told and told everybody. And so within that, that time, I went on and started doing this. But even somebody had asked me the other day, like, who's Amy? Like, I want to, I only seen her on the Facebook page. If you go back, yeah, at the radio. If you go back to the Facebook, you'll see her from the beginning of the videos when we started, and then we'll go a little bit more about why. You know what I mean? Like the way things worked out, and like I said, the reason why she went in another direction. But I'll let her explain that. But I'll tell you the history real quick. Was the Hope After Dark was actually we were we were in I remember this. I got a good memory. Okay, I got a good memory. But yeah, we were at Winco here in Phoenix, in the North Phoenix, and I came from Havasu, and Pastor Ramon at the Dream Center. They do Thanksgiving. They celebrated it at the Dream Center, so I got him a few turkeys. So we went to Winco, and I was telling her about this. Because when all this radio stuff started, like I remember we were at South Mountain or something. 'Cause that's our spot. That's our spot. I love South Mountain. And we're talking about this. Originally it was supposed to go to the reservation, but this they kind of radio thing. And we were up there, and I was telling her like, this is an opportunity, and she was there, and we're like, we gotta come up with a name. So I was throwing around these names, and she's like, why don't you just call Hope? She's pushing the turkeys in there. She's like, yeah, and she's like, why don't you call it Hope After Dark? Because I was called like Hope After Midnight, Hope in the Dark. But she's actually the one that came up with the name, so I don't take credit for that. This is the one that came up with the name. Yeah, it was my idea, but she came up with the name, so that's and people ask me. Yeah, she said that's a good name. You know what I mean? But anyway, so going up. you know, to have us, like, when I went, help me move everything.
I went with you to Mexico to get the
Yeah,
RV,
RV,
and
yeah,
then I drove your car to Havasu behind that RV.
yeah.
It's a long trip.
But I want her to introduce. She talks a lot too, though. So you know what I mean. I
I talk
guess
too much.
we both talk a lot. But anyways, I wanted to give you an introduction on how we've met and how that came about, and how everything just took off from there. Because, like I said, a lot of you people, they've been asking about it. So now you're gonna get to see.
That girl left.
And, it's like they say, God does things for a reason, and I'll let her explain that. Like you got plans and you want to do certain things, but God doesn't. He has a
Mm,
reason why he does things, and
yeah.
so it's like Amy went this way and then she came all the way back. That's why we're doing this video right now. She went like this and then she's came back. And I always told her there's always a spot here. I've always told you that from the beginning. I've
Yeah.
always told you, hey man, no matter what happens, you always have a spot. But yeah, so we've been through a lot. We've been, what was it, 4 or 5 years? How long have we been together?
2021 is when we met. So,
Just take it away from there on how we met.
oh, you want me to tell the story?
Just give them a little, like,
No, I want to tell the story. Okay,
tell a story,
so
then tell a story.
I'm at church minding my own business, and it's dark out. It's a Wednesday night. It's like 8:30 at night. I'm waiting for my kids to get out of youth group, and I'm like standing out there watching my youngest kid play in the grass. And this dude walks up to me in the parking lot, "Yo, Amy," and I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, do I know you?" And he's like, "Yeah, so and so told me about you that you do meal prep." And I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I do that." And so we exchanged numbers. He said he needed like 1 or 2 meals a week. And so I was like, yeah, here's my info. I change my menu every week, and
Hmm.
here it is. So then you think you reached out the next week, right?
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah, yeah,
where the meals at?
yeah, yeah.
Derek likes to eat.
I reached out.
So yeah, I was doing meal prep. Like I think I had 13, 14 clients at the time, and added Derek to it. And he was one of the smaller
Yeah,
clients. Like I said, one week he would get one meal, the next week it was two, and then one, and then two. And but just over time, we started. I would
yeah.
deliver the meals. He lived at the church, so I would deliver them to you
Sundays,
every
Sunday.
Sunday,
Yeah,
and we would just chat for a few minutes, like 5 minutes.
yeah,
And just as time went on, and each week, I was just chatting a little bit more, and we started realizing like, oh, we
yeah,
got a lot of like similar ideas here.
yeah,
We got a
yeah.
lot of the same conspiracy theories going on. And so we started talking, and it just became longer and longer. And I think I remember it was a couple months in. It was before I went to Washington on a
Hmm.
sabbatical.
Yeah,
And I think I brought the food in, you put it in the fridge in like the church. And then I went into your office and you're just kind of sitting in there. And I think I sat in there for like 4 hours.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think it was
yeah.
a long time.
Because I was
All of a
working, I was
sudden, we're like,
working.
whoa, it's dark out. Like, we didn't even realize
Yeah.
that the time had passed.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's where the friendship really kicked in. It was like, hey, we have a lot of the same ideas. We've got a lot of the same lines of thinking. And so, yeah, friendship just kind of developed from that time.
All right. So here's the thing about it. Like she said, we have similarities. You can tell
We are
them.
very different,
So here's the
very
thing,
different
though.
people.
The thing is that one of the similarities, if I said it right, is, is that the reason why she was doing meal prep is she's a chef. She went to school. And here's the tricky thing about it is I went to the same school she did.
Yeah, but I graduated.
Yeah, I went to prison. I went to prison.
I went to my own prison.
Scottsdale Culinary Arts. I think we were there at the same time, right?
Yeah, 2009 is when I
I was there in 2008.
graduated. Well, 2008 was when I was in school.
Yeah, yeah,
Graduated in
I was there
09.
at
Yeah.
that time, and then I told you guys before is I wanted to be a chef, and I went to the same. So we could have passed each other in the
Yeah.
hall. We
Like
could
I
have
never, we
elevator.
weren't in the same classes. I know that,
Yeah,
but
we
we
were
we definitely were there at the same time.
we were at the
Yeah.
same time, and but I went to prison. I got her the plans, so I mean, I know my way around the kitchen, but she's a good cook. You know what I mean? She's very good. She knows what she's doing in there. Yeah. And anyways, we're waiting for some food right now. You know what I mean? So She got some stuff
I
right
got some
now.
pork going in the
Yeah,
smoker right now.
she got some good stuff.
If I'm lucky, it'll be ready by like 8 o'clock tonight. 8, 10 maybe. We'll see.
So
See what happens.
here's the thing about it. At the time, we were actually going through different situations in our life. We were going through, like my wife she was sick. I was dealing with her when she had a terminal illness for a lot. I know you guys people know that, but I was going through a hard time in life, and Amy was going through something.
I was going through a separation and then a divorce.
Yeah. So we had it's kind of crazy because it's like I never thought that like I'll be talking to a woman. You know what I mean? Like I'm a man.
I'm more of a man than most men I know.
But we actually clicked, and throughout the years, our relationship and our everything has just grown. Like I know her family, her daughters. She
We're
knows
sitting
my
at my
son.
house right now.
Yeah, we're here
Of
in
course,
the
we
living
kicked
room.
them all out.
Yeah,
So
but anyways, so I would talk to her when I was living back here in Phoenix area. We used to hang out a lot. We were always talking about ministry. She's been down to Mexico because I know you guys heard me talk about Mexico, the Dream Center, Pastor Ramon, Teresa. She's been out there. She knows those guys. Um, and the thing about it is, I think back to all that stuff and all the things that I've talked about with this, the radio stuff. And as I was in Havasu doing all this stuff, like I said, things started, you know, everyone in another direction. God called it in another direction, but I kept going because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna keep going because this is what I want to do. And then like all this like YouTube and like TikTok, and because we're gonna be doing another little short video after this for TikTok, like a 10-minute video because
am I getting paid for this?
yeah, you get paid in handshakes, you know what I mean, high fives. But yeah, and but yeah, we were at the same church. She still goes to the same church.
CAZ.
Yeah,
Shout out.
yeah, Harvard Church.
Whoop.
Yeah, that's my people right there. Um, but you know what? The thing about it is like we always gotta have a person in Christ to talk to hang out with.
Mhm.
I'm in Havasu, so we don't really get to hang out no more. We talk on the phone,
Yeah,
but and now we're doing this YouTube thing, so you know, she'll be on here. Now she sees how this
a little
setup
bit.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah, she'll make
a
some
little.
time.
I'll make a
Make
little bit
some
of
time.
make a little bit of time because
'Cause
God has taken me in some different directions. So
But yeah, she'll be popping up because like I told you guys before, she'll be popping up from time to time. But after everything was said and done, you know what I mean? Like we went through all of our trials and tribulations, and we still made it. And with the thing about it is, like I said, is what I've learned through this is we all need people. We need each
mm,
other.
yeah,
And when you left, I remember when she left to
you
Washington,
left.
tell them what, the Washington thing, why
Yeah. So I mean, again, like I said, I was going through a divorce and I was wrecked. I was heartbroken. The love of my life, walked out on me, and so. Um, there was crazy stuff going on with him. He like was around the house all the time, and he had moved in to like the neighbor across the street. So I
hmm
was having to like witness him bring women home, and it was like tearing me up. So I reached out to a friend in Washington, and a lot of the people that are following me know. I stayed out there for 11 weeks, almost 3 months, and I stayed up there with her family, and just it was a sabbatical. It was just a good time for me to uh, like for my nerves to heal. At that time when I was here in Phoenix, every motorcycle I heard gave me anxiety. Every truck I heard, like I thought it was my husband. I was constantly at the window looking. I was just wrecked. And so being in Washington, I was able to heal all those sounds that happen, especially here in Phoenix. There's a lot of traffic. They weren't bothering me. I was able to get that. And I was able to spend just a lot of time with the Lord. Even though I stayed with family up there, I felt all alone. These are people I knew my friend, but I didn't know her friends and her family. and I was kind of immersed in that. So I spent a lot of time alone. I spent a lot of time with the Lord. Did a lot of hiking up there, um, and I really did some healing. And then I came back at the end of August in 2021, and while I was up there is when your wife passed.
Yeah.
And so I think that was in June, right?
Yeah. It was
So
in July.
July.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
should be.
So I went up to Washington in June, and I didn't really even know, like I was part of the prayer chain back then through the church, and they sent out a prayer for Derek and Jamie, and I didn't put two and two together because I was going through my own
Hmm.
things, but and I never met your wife, so I didn't
Hmm.
know that it was her, but I remember getting that prayer and just kind of it went through and then went up the other side, but when I came back is when it really clicked for me that, oh shoot, that was Derek's wife, and you were kind of in your own kind of cave
Yeah.
healing. So you were away from people at
Hmm.
that time, and I had been away from people at that time. So I feel like at the end of August, when I came back to Arizona, my marriage blew up at that time. That was where the divorce really kicked into high gear, and things started moving, and it was very hard and painful. But I felt I felt healed in the sense that not everything hurt, not everything was so raw anymore. And that's when you were just starting to kind of come back into
Yeah.
society
Yeah.
as well a little
Yeah.
bit, making an appearance, just kind of pulling on your cape.
Yeah. And I remember I remember that time. It was very rough. I had rough. Couldn't sleep at night. I would
Yeah,
stay up all night,
me too.
and that's part of the reason why when the radio stuff started, like the nighttime, I was like, you know what? When I was going through everything, I was up all night. I'd sit in the church parking lot in the church truck because I'm doing security. I would just sit there till at night. I just didn't know what to think. I was listening to the radio. I don't even know what I was listening to. I was just turning the knob.
Mm,
But that gave me the idea when going through these trials and stuff. It's if you go back and what I do now is when I go through a season, if there's something that bad situation or something pops up, I don't ask God why. I say, God, what are you teaching me?
mm,
So I go back to all of that stuff, and I'm like, you know what? In the nighttime, I remember just sitting in there, and then I was thinking, like, you know what? When the radio stuff came about, opportunity, I was like, yeah, man, do something like that, or something like that. But
and we talked about that a lot too.
mhm,
And then we talked about like my salvation story. When I came back to the Lord was in the middle of the night. It was a lonely night about 7 years before my divorce, and so we talked about how important the nighttime is, and how you know the enemy really attacks at night, and how we've come out of darkness.
mhm,
And so that's where we got the name. That's we started brainstorming. Derek came up with the idea, and I spitballed some names,
mhm,
and we came up with Hope After Dark
mhm,
because we both have been through very dark seasons in our lives,
mhm,
and it was in the darkness that was like the worst times.
mhm.
And we now being healed and out of those seasons want to go back into it to help other people get out of it. So
Yeah,
it's hope after dark. There's hope in it, but people can't see that. So we're going
yeah.
to go back in and tell them, hey, we've been in it, we're out of it. Now we're going to help you get out.
Mhm. Yeah, and the thing too was thinking about all that stuff again. It really talking because I talk to people, like on the phone, they call in, I talk to them like,
Mhm.
hey, how you doing? And I actually understand that the nighttime is really, 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 really a time of need. So that's why, like, I was telling her, kicking around ideas for the TikTok. You know what I mean? Like, doing something at midnight or at nighttime on there with music and stuff. But we'll get more into that
I'm too
later.
old. I can't stay up that late anymore.
I'm a night person.
Derek's up till like 2 a.m. I'm like
I'm
9 o'clock and I'm hitting the sheet.
yeah, I'm a night person. So, but like I said, was you know, through the times, that you know, going through a lot of stuff, like it was always good to when I was here in back in the Phoenix area, when I would call Amy and say, hey, you want to hang out? Because there was times where I needed to get out and do something, and I was like, yo, Amy, you want to do this? You want to hang out? She's like, yeah, yeah. So we just hang out. You know what I mean? Just hang out and talk about our lives, talk about ministry, talk about the future.
conspiracies,
Yeah, all that stuff.
aliens,
We used to go to
stars, the
yeah,
stars.
South Mountain was if you guys
He doesn't like snakes, by the way.
yeah, we
Dude,
used to
dude
go
saw a snake on the staircase
uh
at the Dream
J-
City Church.
at the prep pavilion.
Oh, he ran.
But everything has been at night though, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like night, like I'm a night person, you know, and but the other thing too is it's always good to have somebody on your side, you know, that'll listen.
Yeah,
And
yeah. We talked about a lot of
we
stuff.
talked about a lot of
Yeah,
stuff, and we still do. Even though I'm up there, you know, I know we're busy
every
people.
couple weeks,
Yeah,
we're on the phone for like 2 hours.
yeah,
It's
we get
good
busy.
conversations.
We make time though, you know,
Yeah,
and like I said, that's
it's
why
friendship.
I always tell her about the ideas about, you know, with the, you know, talking about the social media and the radio thing. Um, she's actually been out there to like Havasu, the radio stuff, you know, Bill, you know what I mean, and um, going up there, hanging out, you
I gotta
know,
get my kid.
yeah, going back,
Gotta get my child.
yeah, going back up there, and you know, it's cool, man, you know, it's cool. And another thing too is,
I went back out to the reservation.
yeah, oh
Saw
yeah, yeah,
we dreamed about his studio he's gonna build out
yeah,
there.
the land. I got the land still, you know what I mean? And
Yeah, it's
yeah,
still there,
the
hanging out,
video's
just
there on
waiting.
the Facebook, so I tell people go to the Facebook, same name as the YouTube page on Facebook, and you'll see the videos from she was there in the beginning. And like I said, it's how long is it? When did you get into your when you were? It's been about what a year since this has been going on.
For what?
No, when did it start the YouTube? When did it start the Facebook? About a year ago, right?
No, it's been more than a year.
Has it been more than a year?
Yeah, it's probably close to two,
Yeah, probably close
maybe
to
a little
two.
under two.
Yeah, and so I didn't know anything about this stuff, but she helped me a lot, and I always said, you know what, hey man, you know, you always have a place here, and as you can tell, like I said, she's very energetic. Has a you know loves God.
And my kids,
Uh,
my kids said, "Mom, you have too much energy. What's wrong with you?"
but has a love for God. You
Yeah.
know, as always, she's a good preacher. She can preach. Prayer warrior. Um, good listener. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is, like I said, is we come from two separate backgrounds. It's like crazy because it's like I come from this type of background. She comes from another background, and it's like we're like odd, you know, like
Yeah,
an odd couple.
but the thing is, we both come from ugly backgrounds.
Yeah,
We both have
yeah,
some stuff,
yeah.
and so even though it's not the same stuff, it's like not even close, but
Mhm.
it's similar. We've been able to
Yeah,
connect on those points.
yeah. And I wanted you to tell everybody you know, a little bit about your past. You know, what I mean? I know you have a lot. But this is not the last video. This is just one of many.
I
But
don't know too much about me.
yeah, but I just wanted to
I'm not secretive at all.
yeah, just give everybody a quick like I don't want to say intro, but like you know, walk with the Lord. Because I remember you said you walked you know you grew up in church, right?
No, not really.
Mhm. Go ahead, you can
Okay,
take it
so my
away.
walk with the Lord. Okay, so like in a nutshell, it's going to be a really big nutshell, but
Mhm.
um, 12 years old, my brother got arrested. He went to jail, and that's when my mom started going back to church. She was raised in church, and we went like very sporadically, like when my grandpa would visit from Ohio, we'd go on Christmas and Easter and stuff. But so at 12 years old, I go to church. By the time I'm 13, I get saved at youth convention at Stream City Church. Now it used to be Phoenix First Assembly of God. I get saved there, accept the Lord, and so it's like on fire for the Lord. I love Jesus. And so about 13, 14 years old, I get baptized.
Mhm.
And at 14 years old, then I get some devastating news about my personal history and my family background,
Mhm.
which I'm not going to get into right now.
Yeah, that'll be
But
another time.
some stuff about my mom and dad, and so that broke me. And after that, I spiraled. Just went out of control. So from the ages of 14 to 17, I was very heavy in drugs and alcohol and sex and just not living a good life. At 17 years old, I got pregnant with my son.
Mhm.
So I pregnant with him, a couple months in, gave my heart back to Jesus, and it was just me and him. I didn't have a boyfriend or anything or
Mhm.
husband, and so, um, I'm just living for the Lord again and finishing out my high school. I was not on track to graduate. I was burnout completely, but when I got pregnant with him, I really kicked it into gear, and I graduated in 3.5 years, so it's a little bit early, and just in love with the Lord. But then I met the man of my dreams, or nightmares. No, just kidding. But we got married,
Mhm.
and as soon as we got married, we kind of got kicked out of. We were in the youth group, and we just got kicked out. There was nothing for young adults to a very small church at that time, and so we just kind of faded out. We had another kid, and life just started happening. I went to culinary school. While I was in school, I was just living a crappy life. I was cheating on my husband, and I was being promiscuous, and I was
Mhm.
drinking a lot. I got into drugs, not as heavy as I was in high school. Like in high school, it was hardcore drugs, but
Mhm.
so it wasn't as heavy in my young adult years, but it was still there. Just smoking weed all the time, and then in 2008, I got married in 2005. In 2008, my husband left me for the first time, and I went back to the Lord. And then we got back together. And a few months after, I just started dwindling out again, and just walked away from the Lord. Then he left me again at some point. I came
Mhm.
back to the Lord, and then we got back together and walked away. It was just like that for many years
Yeah.
until I lost count of how many times my husband left me. And but then 7 years before my divorce, or before he left me, I we were married. Everything was okay. Actually we had been going through a divorce.
Yeah.
He begged me to stay, and he begged for me back, and so I we canceled the divorce court and all that, and we went back together. And then I hated him though. I just absolutely hated
Mhm.
him. So I cried out to the Lord one night. I hadn't been walking with the Lord in some time, and I cried out and said, I can't do this anymore. God, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. And that is my salvation story.
Mhm.
That moment, I was pregnant with my fourth child with a man I hated, and I was about 30 years old at that time, so almost 30. So that is where I gave my heart to the Lord once and for all, and I'll never look back, and I'll never
Yeah.
walk away again.
Yeah.
And and then after I gave my heart to Jesus, I begged God. I said, I need you to do one more favor for me and help me fall back in love with this dude.
Mhm.
And he did, and I fell back madly back in love with my husband. And for 7 years, our relationship was great. I thought it was
Mhm.
great until one day, out of the blue, blindsided, he left. He
Mm.
left me, and he didn't even tell me about it. It was, I mean, I lost my job. I had just like literally the day before, I think he left me.
Yeah.
I had lost my job, and then he left, and I was still healing from a hysterectomy. So I had lost a lot. Like I lost my womanhood, my marriage, my job, everything, all in that within those couple of months. And thank God it didn't wreck me.
Yeah.
Even through that, after serving the Lord for 7 years consistently and solidly, uh, God wasn't letting me go, and I wasn't letting him go. So I held on to him, did my sabbatical,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
through this all met Derek, and developed other friendships with other people.
Mhm.
It's not been an easy road, but it's been worth it. Like now, I'm happier than I've ever been. I feel great, and things are good, and I have a bright future. But it was heavy walking through for a
Yeah.
little bit
Yeah.
there.
It's thing about it too is because I seen you go through some stuff. We used to talk, and I can tell. I mean, like I
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
her. I
I've
seen her.
broken into tears a time or
Yeah,
two.
I've seen it, and so I know what she's been through, and I was always listening. Um, the thing about it is, we all go through struggles, and sometimes people don't have nobody to talk to, or they don't have nobody to listen to. So that's why I always tell people, find somebody to talk to, but don't talk to just anybody.
No, don't gossip. And
Yeah.
so, what I tell people, what I heard years ago was that
Hmm.
everybody in the Christian walk needs to have a Paul and a Timothy in their life. So,
Hmm.
you need to have someone who's mentoring you,
Yep.
and you need to have someone who you are mentoring. Um, so, that's a great foundation right there. But just friendships in general, like
Hmm.
I don't feel like I mentor Derek or vice versa. This is just a mutual friendship, but it's it's important to be surrounded by people who are going to listen and understand
Yeah.
and give you positive feedback and critique when necessary,
Yeah.
but in loving ways, you know. And so
Yeah. Yeah.
surrounding yourself, like, we don't get together and we don't talk trash about
Mhm.
my ex-husband or talk trash about anyone in the church, or we just get together and just talk about life.
Yeah.
And so when you have someone that you can stand next to, focus on
Mhm.
like the hopes and dreams and the future
Mhm.
instead of living in the past, that's
Yeah.
what's really necessary.
It's another thing too is it's like you said, I've always said speak life.
Yeah.
Don't speak negative.
Yeah. Talk
Um, no. I always look at it like, I want to speak life. I want to talk about like negative stuff.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the positive. Let's talk about the
Yeah,
future.
let's not talk about the things we can't control, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I mean, there's so much going on in this world we cannot control.
yeah,
So let's just hope for the future and
yeah. And,
pray.
and we always have we always have a saying like when we plan something, we always say if the world doesn't end. Yeah, we'll get to that if
Yeah.
the rapture doesn't end.
Like, hey, I'll see you next week if the world don't end.
Yeah, we used to say that all the time,
We
and
still do, yeah.
yeah, and the thing about it too is that I like about Amy is that she's very honest. There's no beating around the bush. There's no like she's just straightforward. You know what I mean? And you need people like that in your life because one thing that I've learned is sometimes you need to sugarcoat things to tell people, and then there's people like me where I can just tell me how it is. You know
Yeah.
what I
We need the truth.
mean?
Like, even
Yeah.
if it hurts, it's so worth it.
The thing too, after everything that was going on, um, with everything that I went through and she went through, we still stayed connected. And even when I left to go to Havasu to learn this radio stuff, we still stay connected. And when I come down here, I always come out here to see her and her family and kids and stuff. And like I said, I do miss it out here. I always tell her all the time, like, I don't, I miss it out here in the
Yeah.
city.
Small life is for the
Yeah,
birds.
yeah. And I'm just like,
Small town.
I mean,